Hey there, guys, it's Mia here. I am so excited. As always, I am so excited about this live today. I'm going to teach very simply today how to build a life and business that is leverageable. How to build a life and business that is leverageable. I'm Mia Redrick, business and life consultant, and I got started in my company over 20 years ago, like 22 years ago. And I simply made a decision. I wanted to figure out how to go to work as myself. I wanted to figure out how to take my background as a corporate trainer and my systems in motherhood and how might I package my know-how, my expertise, my education, my years of on-the-job training into a business as a coach, a consultant, a trainer. And I've done exactly that. Fast forward, I had an opportunity to um, write a number of books to support women with understanding that if you don't make time for yourself, then you can't really inform any relationship that you have, your marriage, or even be the kind of mom that you want to be. Took something really simple, a life skill, wrote a book, wrote several books that became bestsellers, but also that opened the door for me to live my dream, and then opened the door that allowed me to do corporate deals with Fortune 100 and 500 brands, leveraging my intellect in many different ways. And that's what I'm going to talk with you about today. Now, this is going to be for you if you are looking for a new way to earn. And I don't mean this from some salesy perspective. If you're looking for a new way to renegotiate the way that you're earning, you're looking at the way that you're working, you're like, these models are not working for me. You can't see yourself working another 10 or 15 years with the same models. And because they don't have time freedom, they're not speaking to you in terms of quality of life or being able to live out your calling, your purpose. You just know that there is more for you. And perhaps you love what you do, because I always loved what I did as a corporate trainer, but I knew that there was more for me than working 9 to 6 or 9 to 7 for 20, 30, 40 years. I knew that I wanted to be the kind of mom that could be available to her kids. I knew that I wanted to be the kind of mom that equally could date her husband in the middle of the day. And that was really important to me. And so I wanted to renegotiate my models. And if that's you, I want you to write, that's me. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, how to build a life and business that is leverageable. And I'm Mia Redrick, business and life consultant, for those of you who have just joined in. Good to see you, Mary. And I am just going to speak from my heart. When I came up with this idea years ago, I have to tell you that sometimes when you think outside of the box and you share those outside of the box ideas with people who are not outside of the box, they will poke holes in your dream. And that's exactly what happened to me. I went to a small business resource center in my town, and I was told by the director of the small business resource center that my idea, mom coaching, right, did not make any sense, and that no one would ever hire me to do what I went on to do. Not only be signed to Emmy nominated and nationally syndicated shows as the mom strategist, or do corporate deals with Fortune 100 and 500 brands as the mom strategist, but also to have coached thousands of women literally all around the globe and create a movement for women. So I want you to know that if your idea is out of the box and you don't know anyone else that's living that dream, it's for you. You're the one to lead from the front to show us how it's done and become comfortable with being in your own category. And I hope that there's something that I will say to you today that will inspire you to take an action. And if at any point you hear something and you're like, man, this is for me, and you just want to know more about how you can move with the next step, check out miaredrick.com. And there's my free webinar that's there. It's 100% free, and I'll help you figure out how to take your knowledge and package it into a high ticket product on or offline. Even if you don't know what that product is, it's supported tens of thousands of people literally around the globe. All right, so today, as promised, I'm going to share with you how to build a life that's leverageable. And I can tell you that for me, when I came up with this model for myself, I wanted to, one, be free. And free to me meant that when I got myself free, not working a 9 to 5 job, but working for myself, that I wanted to stay free. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for over 20 years, and my husband the same. So it's something I'm really proud of. And so it's something that equally I transfer to my clients. Many of my clients, as a result of my business coaching with them and consulting, have been able to replace their incomes, their 9 to 5 income or 9 to 7 income, and become full-time entrepreneurs as well, and maintain their level of profitability and success and scale in their businesses. So if that's something that's of interest to you, then you're in the right place tonight. But I will tell you that the other thing that I was looking for was I just wanted to own my time, and I wanted to do what I absolutely love to do my own way. And maybe that's you, like you love what you're doing, but you want to do it your own way. Like you just know that you could start your own consulting agency, and you're like, I know that I could help others with what I know how to do, but you're not sure how to put the pieces together. See, that was me years ago, and I'm so grateful. I made investments in tons of amazing coaches and consultants and trainers who changed my life. And my motto back then was, if you're not free, you can't teach me. Because I knew for a fact that that was one of my primary goals, was to become a full-time entrepreneur and to get free and to stay free. And one of the greatest impacts for me and my family, as a result of building this business, my husband developed kidney disease about 15 years ago and went on to dialysis. And at that time, it was a very scary time for us. But I was so grateful I had built my business before we needed it, before I needed the time to be available for my kids and for my husband. And I was grateful I had shown up for myself. I was grateful I made investments in myself without making excuses or using my spouse as a shield, because I was afraid to invest in my highest and tallest dream at the highest and tallest level. And you know that I'm talking to you if you're that person that you've been investing in band-aids, or you are afraid of the numbers of what it's going to really take for you to step into what it will take for you to realize the kind of change you need in your business through coaching and mentoring. So hopefully this live will support you today. I'm going to speak from my heart. And I'll tell you this, that if your feelings get hurt easily, this might not be the live for you, because I always am going to just tell you exactly what I know works and what I've done to support the thousands of women that I've helped around the country as well. All right, so how to build a life and business that's leverageable. The first thing, number one, if you guys are ready, right? I'm ready, even if you're watching the replay. Number one, you got to allow your knowledge to work for you. So somebody write this down. You need to allow your knowledge to work for you. What do I mean? I mean, you are incredible. You're smart. You are in demand at work. People see you as the go-to person. You're the resource. You're the fixer. You're the person that makes it all happen. And you've got to allow that knowledge, that know-how to work for you instead of you working for it. And a lot of the women that I work with, professionals, they're sharp, they're smart, they're incredible, they've got skills and talents, and they have for years, forever, they've always allowed their knowledge to be something that's contracted. And I want you to think differently about what it is that you know. I want you to understand that you've got to create systems with your knowledge that allows your knowledge to work for you. I mean, imagine if you knew how to take what you were doing and put it in a system that you could license and sell to an organization or an agency that might have a need for what it is that you know how to do. Imagine if you knew how to build a high value course that could create amazing results for your demographic, that there was amazing demand because of the kind of results that you know how to do, and you could passively sell what it is that you know how to do. Some of us have the knowledge, the know-how, but we just don't have the step-by-step systems on how do I take what I do and put it in a structure where it can monetize at the highest level. And quite frankly, many of us have been taught by people who they themselves are not creators of original content. They are repurposing, regurgitating what other people are doing, or they themselves have not created courses that hit 6 figures or more each and every month, or that are selling high ticket themselves. They are testing on you. And I just want you to think about this for a minute. I mean, over the years, I've only sold high ticket in my business, in my coaching and consulting business, for over 20 years. My very first product actually was $2,400. I think it was I think it was like 24.97 or something like that. And $2,400 was my very first coaching product. This is 20 years ago. And I don't teach any of my clients to sell their knowledge for low ticket. They're smart, they're sharp, they already have the ability to create results for others. They just need to know systematically and step by step how to take their knowledge and how to put it in structures that really work based on what they do, not some cookie cutter structure that you just learn and that everybody else is doing. No, that or something you're Googling online. It is something that's distinct to what your background is and what the pent up demand is in your market. Are we clear? Are we clear? All right. So the first thing is you've got to allow your knowledge to work for you instead of you working for the knowledge. And that's currently what you've been doing. And it's the reason why right now you're looking at where you are and there's no duplicity. There's nothing duplicating you. You are just like the person, that go-to person, and it's tiring, all right, to be that person. I know, I'm calling you out. Number two. The second thing is you've got to allow your models for revenue to include passive strategies. And this is so important. And I see this with a lot of amazing professionals. Like you you've got a model to generate income and it's called your job, right? And your salary, but you don't have a model that is passive. If you don't show up or you don't sit in the anchor seat or you don't show up at the hospital to do what you have to do, you don't generate any income. And you've got to figure out a way to take your knowledge and learn how to take your knowledge and put it in structures so it can work for you passively. So I have so many courses that I've created over the years, and many of those courses and curriculums and trainings that I've licensed to businesses, et cetera, they work without me having to work them. All right. I create the work one time and they work over and over and over again for me. And if you don't know how to do this, this is why coaching and mentoring is so important. It is not about slapping together and throwing together a course and just putting it online with some great fancy titles and beautiful pictures. Many of my clients don't even have websites that sell their things for tens of thousands of dollars per client, if not negotiate hundreds of thousands of dollars in their contracts because of what their curriculum is. So there's a systematic way to take what you know how to do and how to put it in the structure so it can work for you to generate passive income, meaning even when you're sleeping or people in another country or in another city or town or state can be purchasing and learning from what you know, and you do not have to be the person exchanging the knowledge, sitting in front of a room, on the phone, on Zoom, or whatever it is that you're doing currently. Are we clear? Are you guys getting value? If you're getting value, I want you to write, Mia, I'm getting value and I'm getting this. It's so important. And I told you today that I'm going to totally shake your shoulders all week long. I'm going to shake your shoulders because you got this, but not doing the same things the same way with the same conclusions because they don't work. And, most of you started off like, maybe in January and you said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to change my life and I built this business. I'm going to hit six figures and I'm all these things. And I want you to think about where you are right now. Thank you so much. I want you to think about where you are right now and say, what have I done? And it's not that you didn't do what you needed to do. It's just that you don't know what you need to know to do what you need to do. And if you don't know what you don't know, how do you create a different result? Are we clear? So it's time to get rid of those false methods that are keeping you stuck year after year, or these beliefs that it's going to take you forever to take what you know and put it in a high ticket structure and sell it passively. It's just not true. My clients very quickly have the ability to take what I teach them, and many of them monetize right away. Now, I can't guarantee if that's your experience or not because I don't know you and your habits, but I know that for those who apply exactly what I say, step by step, I have not had a failure. And then number three, you got to utilize your network to position your results and your authority. What do I mean? Look, you are already incredible. People already know the kind of results and transformation that you create. And the question is, if I asked you right now to identify 5, 10, 15 people who would say how amazing you really are and how you created amazing results for them, do you know who they are? Do you know the stories of the impact that you created? I know that there are crickets right now playing, right? Listen, I already know. However, that's what you need to understand. Like the reason that people want to work with you is because you're you and because you have the ability to create results and everyone knows it. But it doesn't matter if you're the only person that knows it. I'll give an example and you guys will hear my heart in this. One of the things that I love to do is support women with creating amazing results. And I'm really amazing at it, not from an ego perspective, just fact based on the results that they create. For one of my products, we just took a couple of the testimonials and put them together, and not all of them, just a couple. We created a 4-hour reel of clients sharing what the impact of that product is. So that's positioning. You've got tons of people out there saying, I can help you package, price, position, and find buyers. But do you have 100 plus clients, or you know what I mean, on a reel for 4 hours saying how they've created results and transformation in their life and their world as a direct result of working with you? And I want you to think about that for yourself. Are you building your arsenal of proof? Or or are you not? And I see this a lot with people who come to me and they've created amazing results for others and they've never recorded it ever, like in 20 years. So they might have a LinkedIn post here or there of a review that someone, a testimonial that someone's given them, but they really aren't telling the full story. So when they go into business, their ideal clients can't choose them because guess what? Their ideal clients don't even know that they are as impactful as they really are. Are we clear? Are you guys going to start telling the truth? Because the reality is that if you want to understand how to leverage your life and your business, you've got to utilize your network to position yourself in your authority. People want to work with you because you are you. It's fact. All right. And I know that there are lots of creative duplicators out there. I know there are lots of copycats. I know there are lots of fakes, frauds, phonies, all of those things. But it has nothing to do with you. If what you do creates amazing results, let the results make the noise. And we can only do that if you are willing to tell the truth and allow your network to really talk about what it is that you've done to create a tremendous impact in their life and their world. And I find a lot of times that with my clients, when they come to me and they don't have it, it's just that they haven't had the accountability to show up for themselves. And maybe, just maybe, that's you too. Is it you? Is it you? Is it you? Number 4, I want you to think about your desire to live first and build everything else around it. So if you want to build a life based on leverage, the first thing you want to be thinking about is how do I really want to live? And then build your whole business model around it. And it's something I talk about all the time, but I don't just talk about it. I live it. It's like my whole thing. When I got started in my business 20 years ago, let me tell you, I had no products and I was the product, just like you're the product. And because of my background in corporate training, I know how to take knowledge and put it in many different structures. So whether I'm working with clients privately or whether I'm working with them through my group mentorship programs, the reality is I'm able to help clients really look at, identify many different ways to take their knowledge and put it into high ticket structures. But I knew that I knew what I knew how to do. But what I also knew is how I wanted to live doing what I knew how to do. And sometimes the difference in building a business that you absolutely love is having that model that's around your life. And I know that so many people never consider, I was thinking like, I just want to be the mom that can pick her kids up from school and bring cupcakes in during the parties in the middle of the day. And I want to do that. I want to see it all. That was me. I want to see it all. Right. So because that's what I wanted, I knew I had to build a business with that model in mind. Equally, I knew that I wanted to date my husband in the middle of the day. And so I did, right? We were both full-time entrepreneurs working from home. And I built a model around freedom, around quality of life. I knew I wanted to build a business that would allow me to work anywhere that I chose, whether it's from my home or whether it's from some place around the world, whatever. But I wanted a business that didn't constrain me. I didn't want to build a model that, where I had to show up somewhere and in order for me to generate value or to be able to generate income from my family. And maybe this is where you're at. You want more flexibility in the models. Is this helping you? Is this helping somebody? If this is helping you, I want you to write, this is helping me. My only goal is to shake your shoulders and get you to understand you're your number one asset, and you have got to show up for yourself. And if you don't show up for yourself today, then when are you going to do it? Like when is it going to happen? All right. And time is an incredible asset. And I think a lot of times we forget how valuable time is. Hey, I'm so glad that you guys are getting value. We forget, we act almost as if we can control it. And I just want to tell you, when I think about the model that I put in place 20 years ago that I get to live out today, I'm very, very grateful for what it has afforded me. And I'm not talking about it from a financial perspective. Certainly, financial security is a great benefit of running an amazing business, but it's afforded me the opportunity to see my life, to experience my life, to be present for the things that matter to me. And I know that maybe that's what's most important to you. There's nothing like, what were we doing? Yeah. Last week, my son had his ring ceremony, and went to his ring ceremony, which was so cute. You get your ring, your juniors, your first real major piece of jewelry. And one of the things that I loved about that day was there was nothing that was competing with me. There's nothing, there's no other place I want to be. I'd rather be. There's no email that I have to take. There's nobody that's going to buzz me or, ping me. There's nothing more important than what matters the most. And I just wanted to build a business that would allow me to show up for the things that and the people that matter the most. And I hope that that resonates with some of you, because I know for a fact that a lot of times we are in work situations and you love what you do, but you don't like how you're doing it. And you know that there is more for you. And I'm going to tell you that you're going to likely have to make a significant investment in yourself, time, money, and energy, in order for you to learn how to renegotiate your models, your work models. But it is absolutely possible. And the last thing, number five, when I'm talking about how to build a business and a life based on leverage, is consider time compounding in your in the way you're renegotiating the way you earn. So let me explain what I'm talking about. So time compounding is like, there are many different ways to duplicate yourself. And a lot of times when we start to burn out, it is because we're the person doing everything. But one of the things that I've learned to do is build my business by duplicating myself. So whether it's that I build intellect and it works for me, it does the work for me, or whether it's that I have a team that does the work for me, right? Equally, right? To give me more hours and freedom, or whether it's that I have simple models in my life, my business, so that I am not taxed by a system that drains me, is suffocating me. And some of you guys know what I'm talking about. You're in business, the systems you have, they just don't work. They are suffocating you, and they're preventing you from working on the business. You're working in the business all the time. So you don't have the ability to be creative or do some of the things that you really want to do that are outside of the box, because you are in a stronghold, because you can't compound your time based on the models you have. I love the fact that the way that I get to work, when I get to work, I coach my clients mostly one to many, once a week. I have a couple private consulting clients that come to my office for private VIP days. Really, that's it. Like in a month, if I work in terms of practically seeing clients in person and online, or if I put in 20 hours a week, 20 hours a month, that's like a lot for me, really. And I'm not saying that in any way to be braggadocious. I just want you to know, like, it is possible. And certainly I do marketing things in my business and, oversight of my business, but I've built a business that is compounded. And I did not want to build a business that would suffocate me. And I hope that this resonates with you, because if you're working already full time, sometimes the biggest thoughts you have is, how am I going to start a business, when you're thinking about what you're doing full time? And you're like, I can't even imagine making room for it. But you could, if you could just simply put in 2 to 3 hours each and every week in your business, following the system that I use to teach women. You'll build a business that is based on compounding your time, not on suffocating you. And that's really important if you want to build a business based on life and leverage. I mean, how could you build a business that allows you to travel and around the world and do what you want to do and you don't get to enjoy it? Like, can you imagine? All right, really, really important. And I mentioned this on my last live, and I talked about the fact that last year, my goal, my personal goal was to travel alone for 45 days last year and then travel with my family for at least 45 days last year. And I did exactly that. And I could not have done that if I had not built a business that was based on compounding. And I hope this has got your brain on fire tonight. And it's just from my heart. I want you to have what I have and so much more. And I would love to hear your ahas and your takeaways. And, listen, if you're listening, you're like, this is exactly what I need. Where do I get started? Go to miaredrick.com. I'll post the link here and sign up for my webinar. It's right there. Or if you're, ready to package your knowledge, check out my um, master training, the Giant Experience Master Training, there as well. So you'll see the links there. Just choose what you want. But the reality is that just don't hear and not do. Hear and do it, right? And step into your next and know that it's absolutely available to you. If you're not on my newsletter list, make sure you sign up when you go to miaredrick.com. And because we've got a really exciting announcement happening this week, but I can't tell you. I can't tell you until I tell you, but I can tell you that it's coming, right? So it went out in our newsletter today. We've got a really exciting. I am so excited. Okay, it's going to take everything in me not to say anything. However, make sure you stay tuned this week. I'll be coming live, making a really incredible announcement, and I'm just so excited. So I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited. And I am, yeah, on the email, right? My email, my newsletter. Yeah. You thought I was going to announce it today. No, I'm going to announce it probably Wednesday. I think Wednesday will be the magic day. I always like to announce things to my clients first. So, and I speak with them on tomorrow. So I'm going to announce to them on tomorrow. And then I will likely on Wednesday, then I'll announce, but it's really exciting. I'm telling you guys, you just need to make sure if you're not subscribing, you're subscribing to the channel because you don't want to miss it. And it's exciting. But it's exciting to do what you love to do. And it's exciting to serve brilliant, smart, sharp people who make it super easy for you to help them step into what their next looks like, right? And for my clients, it's never just about the money. It's about purpose, it's about impact, and it's about authenticity, being your full self, being fully expressed with your skills, your ability, and your talents, and not playing small, and understanding that what is a life that if you don't take that time to trust yourself, to believe in that big idea and to launch it in the hugest way, and know that, that investing in yourself is a gift. It is not an afterthought. It is not an external, you know what I mean? Like thing. Investing in yourself is your number one thing. It's the one thing that I've learned over the years. Everything I've done for myself, my family have been the direct benefactors of. My God, every book I've read, every coaching platform, anything I've done, I've grown in a way that I've been able to change my life. And as a result of that, I've changed either the way that I interact with them, I've changed what I've been able to create because of my investment. So for those of you who are listening to me and you listen to me all the time, show up for yourselves, right? Don't make excuses. I today talked about how to build a life around leverage. And you got to show up, right, for yourself. I'll just quickly recap. I would love to hear any of your ahas or takeaways, even if you're watching the replay on this one. Number one, allow your knowledge to work for you instead of you working for your knowledge. That's really important. Number two, allow your models for revenue to include passive strategies. So part of what's in the way right now is that you're trading time for dollars. You've got one way to generate income, and there are more ways to take what you know how to do and allow it to work for you. Number three, utilizing your network to um, position your results and your authority. And this idea of being muted, of not saying what you really do is part of what's in the way in terms of working with your ideal clients. It's fact. Excuse me. Ask me, am I amazing at what I do? Yes. But more importantly, more than me saying that, I'll just share with you what hundreds of women that I've worked with have shared. And you get to hear from them their perspective of what it's like to work with someone that creates actual results and that doesn't just talk about results or tote the same 3 to 5 clients. We've got hundreds of women that we've been able to support. And I always say that to you because I always try to make sure that when I come here, you hear my heart, and that you guys are discerning, that you discern and for yourselves, if you want to change your life, the people you want to work with, one, they should live the way that you want to. If you want to be free, your mentor should be free, I think. All right. So important. And a lot of times we don't think about that. And I build my business. I do what I love to do. And I share a lot of what I do, some with you all. You've watched me build the business over the last 20 years. Y'all know it's real based on the hairdos on YouTube alone, all 7,000 of those videos. And think about how you desire to live and build everything you want to do around it. Okay. So it's not about the business first. It's about the model for how you want to live. I'm into that. Women who want to renegotiate the way they work and the way they earn, and families, everything. And I want you to know it's possible. This is not like a pipe dream with there's none of that. It's going to take work, but you can build your business based on ease and grace and not hustle and grind. And if that's what you're into, you're going to love what I teach. And then consider time compounding in your model. Look for ways to duplicate yourself, whether it's with a team or leveraging your knowledge or other ways. But you doing it all is the thing. It's the reason you're here tonight, is because you know it doesn't work, and it does not work. All right. I asked for an aha and a takeaway. And Samsari said, that's the one. Allow knowledge to work for me. That's huge. That's my aha. That's a big aha, right? Allowing the knowledge to work for you. All right. And you've watched me in this business, right? And over the years. And Consuelo says, my aha is that you can help me create systems that generate passive income and create life freedom. As a teacher, I am burned out envisioning the freedom and creation and marketing myself. Knowledge feels right. Absolutely. And what you know has tremendous value in certain markets. And it's for you to understand what those markets are and how to take all of your expertise and put it systematically in a process that's proprietary, that you can offer it. And it's different for every single person. That's why I'm not a big fan of just one size fitting all. My clients, our private consulting that I do with them, each in the group coaching program that we're in, is so valuable because what they're able to see is for their specific business and background, how they can maximize what they do, what they bring to the table, and how it needs to be packaged in order for them to monetize at the highest level. So this idea of Google searching your prices or copying what somebody else does is not what God intended you to do. Who you are and what you are, you're an original. Don't die copy. I didn't make that up. I can't remember. I think it's John Mason. It's his book, You're Born an Original, Don't Die Copy. And then Samsari writes, ease and grace indeed. Ease and grace is where it's at. Hustle and grind. We do have moments where we hustle and grind. But when hustle and grind becomes a lifestyle, it's a toxic way of living. And there's nothing about that is called quality of life. And I hope that you guys hear my heart on this. I'm just looking to find more women who can say yes to themselves quickly, who are investment minded, who are like, show me how. All right. And they're ready to step into that. All right. That's what I have for you tonight. I appreciate you for being here. You could have been anywhere, but you are here right now. And I hope that there's something that I've said that really hits you right here. And if you love this live, share it with a friend, share it with a friend or two or three so that their lives can change also. That's what giants do. I'm Mia Redrick, business and life consultant, and I'm excited to be here. Be sure to follow my channel if you're not following it, and be sure to check me out all week this week, whether it's the email or whether it's here live on any of these platforms that you're watching this, because I've got a really awesome announcement. Have a great and amazing night. I'll talk to you soon. Love you guys.